Well, boys, Season of the Splicer is officially here, and with it comes the brand new seasonal artifact, Paradrome Cube. Someone let me know if I'm saying that right. But more importantly, comes the brand new seasonal artifact mods. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the new seasonal artifact along with the mods within it. And finally, I'm going to be giving you my recommendations on what I believe the best mods for this artifact are going to be and the ones that you need to unlock. Now, you know we don't do 5-minute intros around here, so let's get right on in to the new seasonal artifact. So, as you can see, I've already unlocked a few of the mods. I've been playing for just a little bit this morning. Of course, I was sitting in a queue like most of you and getting honeydewed like crazy. So, haven't been able to put as much time as I would want to into it, but nonetheless, we're in. So if you've never seen one of these artifact videos from me before, essentially I go down every single column telling you what the mods are, what they do, and then giving you my recommendations on what mods to go with. So starting us out with column 1, these are going to be your champion mods. So first up, we have Overload Submachine Gun. Uninterrupted fire from your equipped SMGs grant bullets that stun combatants, delaying ability energy regeneration and lowering combatant damage output, strong against Overload champions. Next up, we have Anti-Barrier Scout Rifle. Scout rifles you are wielding fire shield-piercing rounds and stun barrier champions. Scout rifles deal bonus damage against barrier champions. Next, we have Unstoppable Sidearm. Aiming down sights with any sidearm you are wielding loads a powerful explosive payload that stuns unshielded combatants, strong against unstoppable champions. Then we have Overload Hand Cannon. Landing consecutive hits disrupts combatants, stunning them, delaying ability energy regeneration, and lowering combatant damage output, strong against Overload champions. And the final mod for column 1 is going to be Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle. Auto rifles you are wielding fire shield-piercing rounds that stun barrier champions. Auto rifles deal bonus damage against barrier champions. So from column 1, the only two mods that I'm going to recommend are going to be Overload Submachine Gun and Anti-Barrier Scout Rifle. Overload, well, the only other Overload mod that you have in this column is going to be Hand Cannon. And normally Overload mods work better for weapons that can fire continuously, so like full auto type weapons, and submachine guns are just going to do a much better job with overloading champions than a hand cannon. Next is, of course, anti-barrier, and anti-barrier scouts are going to be more effective than anti-barrier auto rifles, because normally a scout can take on a barrier champion from further distance, and normally when you're doing those higher end PvE activities that involve, really strong champions, you're not going to want to be up in their face with an auto rifle, and you can just control a scout rifle better at longer ranges, which is normally where you want to engage a lot of these champions from. And then finally, Unstoppable Sidearm, I'm just not even going to recommend that, simply because we have an OP Unstoppable mod later on in the artifact. Next up, we have columns 2 and 3. I normally group these columns together because they contain, just like the essential mods, your scavenger mods, your unflinching mods, your loader mods, your dexterity mods, your targeting mods. But this time around, they actually threw some curveballs at us, as we're going to find mods in here that we normally wouldn't find in these two columns. So starting us off with column 2, we have Grenade Launcher Scavenger. Grenade launchers get bonus reserves when you pick up ammo. Next up, we have Rocket Launcher Scavenger. Rocket launchers get bonus reserves when you pick up ammo. Then we have Unflinching Pulse Rifle Aim. Reduces flinching from incoming fire while aiming pulse rifles. Then we have Scout Rifle Loader. Increases reload speed of scout rifles. And then the final mod for column 2 is going to be Blast Radius. Become charged with light by rapidly defeating multiple combatants with grenade launchers or rocket launchers. This mod's effects stack with other copies of this mod. This was one of those curveballs that I just mentioned. We normally don't see mods like this in column 2 and 3. Then for column 3, we have Unflinching Auto Rifle Aim. Greatly reduces flinching from incoming fire while aiming auto rifles. Next up, we have Argent Ordnance. While charged with light, readying or firing a rocket launcher grants it increased damage and reload speed. Damaging a combatant with a rocket consumes 1 stack of charge with light. This mod's effects stack with other copies of this mod. Then we have Grenade Launcher Dexterity. Faster ready and stow speeds for grenade launchers. Then we have Rocket Launcher Loader. Increases reload speed of rocket launchers. And the final mod for column 3 is going to be Ashes to Assets. Gain bonus super energy on grenade kills. So now, what mods do I recommend for columns 2 and 3? Well, to be honest, it would be easier for me to tell you which mods I don't recommend, because almost all of these mods are really good. You got really good scavenger mods, you got some good charge with light mods, you got some loader mods, and you got Ashes to Asset. The only mods that you really shouldn't go with is, let's just say, your unflinching mods. Unless you're a PvP player, then you should definitely go with those. It really depends on what you use, but a lot of this artifact is centered around grenade launchers, rocket launchers, and scout rifles. And these 2 columns are just godly. Honestly, as you can see, I still have 1 artifact unlocked left, and I just can't decide which ones to get because they're all so good. I'm more than likely, actually, I'm going to do it right now. I'm actually going to go ahead and pick up Rocket Launcher Scavengers simply because that Scavenger mods are normally about 3 energy, where the artifact ones are only 1 energy. But I'm more than likely also going to end up picking up the Ordnance mod and more than likely Ashes to Asset. So I got these 2. Blast Radius, I'm going to pick up the Ordnance mod, and then I'm going to end up picking up Ashes to Assets. So now moving on to columns 4 and 5. These are the juicy columns, the columns where the mods are going to cost you a lot of energy, but they're going to have a ton of benefits. Starting us off with Unstoppable Grenade Launcher. Yeah, we've never seen this before. When you ready or reload a grenade launcher for a short period, that weapon stuns unstoppable champions, strong against unstoppable champions. This is going to be a massive mod. Next up, we have Hammer of the Warmind. The detonations from Warmind cells you destroy cause disruption, stunning combatants, delaying ability energy regeneration, and lowering combatant damage output. Strong against overload champions and unstoppable champions. Now, at the bottom, this also reads, defeating a combatant with a 7th Seraph or Achilles weapon has a chance to drop a Warmind cells. Multiple copies of this mod do not stack. I'm going to speak about this in just a second, but let's finish off with these 2 columns. Next, we have Sundering Blast. Stunning a champion creates an explosive blast. Then we have Surge Detonators. Arc grenades disrupt combatants, stunning them, delaying ability regeneration, and lowering combatant damage output, strong against overload champions. And the final mod in column 4 is going to be Unstoppable Condenser. Void melee abilities, stun unshielded combatants, strong against unstoppable champions. And then our final column, column 5, we first start off with a mod called Breach and Clear. When using a grenade launcher, damaging a boss, damaging a champion, or breaking a combatant's shield reloads your stowed weapons and causes the combatant to take increased damage for a short duration. Then next, we have Glacial Inheritance. Defeating targets with your stasis super refunds super energy. Next up, we have Warmind's Decree. Void splash damage final blows have a chance to create Warmind cells. Yeah, you heard that right. And we're going to come back to this one in just a second. Then we have Impulse Recycler. Grenade final blows grant grenade energy. Multiple copies of this mod increase the amount of energy gained. And our final mod for column 5 and the whole artifact is going to be Energy Accelerant. Your Dragonfly Chain Reaction and Firefly Explosions deal more damage. So now, what mods from columns 4 and 5 should you unlock? And to be honest with you, I'm just going to be truthful, okay? I have never sat here making one of these artifact videos struggling so much to tell you all what to unlock, because normally it's straightforward. There's normally 3 or 4 mods that are good, and then there's, you know, normally 8 to 9 mods that are okay that you should go with. All right, but we've never had this lineup of good mods in a single artifact before. This is the best artifact. I'm saying it, the best artifact that we have ever had, because all the mods are so good. Let's just quickly take a look at 4 of them. Okay, first up, Breach and Clear. This is literally Sundering Glare, but you just use Anarchy. Just stick Anarchy to a boss, and now all your teammates are going to be doing bonus damage because it increases the damage that the combatant that you hit with Anarchy is going to take. Next up, we have Unstoppable Grenade Launcher. Literally, just use Anarchy and stick it to an unstoppable champion, and then you can just melt it to the ground. Then you have Hammer of the Warmind. And speaking of Hammer of the Warmind, I said I wanted to come back to this. The bottom part, defeating a combatant with a 7th Seraph or Achilles weapon, blah, 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 blah. That part really has me interested, because that's also, if we take a look at Global Reach, that's what this mod reads as well. And we all know that you use Global Reach when you're using a 7th Seraph weapon, or mainly an Achilles SMG, which is, I bet, what a lot of you all use to create Warmind cells. But if we no longer need to use Global Reach because this mod that costs the same energy can be used, and it will act as Global Reach in a sense that it helps you create Warmind cells, then Global Reach is pretty much useless now, and you might as well use this, because not only will it create Warmind cells, but you can also stun overload champions and stagger unstoppable champions. And then the fourth mod we can take a look at would be Warmind's Decree, where void splash damage can now create Warmind cells, which is something that we've never seen before. And the reason why I think that this is so huge is because the new pinnacle weapon this season, which is a void fusion rifle that has reservoir burst, can now create Warmind cells. And it doesn't stop there. I can keep going, talking about, let's say, Energy Accelerant, where your Dragonfly, Chain Reaction, and Firefly explosions deal more damage with this mod. Dragonfly, we already have a Dragonfly spec, but now we essentially have a Chain Reaction spec and a Firefly spec. And with Firefly returning this season on random rolled weapons like Fatebringer, well, this mod's gonna be good for that too. Like I said, I have never had this much problem telling you all what to use, because this artifact is so good. All of these mods you can't go wrong with. Now, of course, if you just want me to tell you the mods that I think you should go with, Breach and Clear, Unstoppable Grenade Launcher, Hammer of the Warmind, Warmind's Decree, and Energy Accelerant. But you could also go with Impulse Recycler, Surge Detonators, Unstoppable Condenser. If these match your playstyle, go with them. Normally on past artifacts, the mods that I don't recommend you go with are the ones that, even if you play into that playstyle, aren't really good and you're better off just using another mod. But these mods are all so good that you can literally choose whatever you want. And those are your Season of the Splicer artifact mods. I'm sorry that this wasn't a clear cut, these mods are bad, these mods are good, you should only go with these mods, because all of these mods are really good, especially those columns 3 and 4 mods. All of those mods are just so good. Now, let me know in the comments section 2 things. 1, have you even been able to play today? I know a lot of people are still stuck trying to get into the game. Either their game's crashing or they're getting honeydewed, so let me know that. And 2, let me know your thoughts on the seasonal artifact. I personally think that this is the best artifact that we have ever seen. Now, with all that being said, if you do enjoy my videos or have ever found them useful, then feel free to subscribe. We are so close to the big 100K, and I would love you forever if you subscribe, but only if you want to, okay? And finally, if you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to drop a like, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.